Now we got carried away a bit by VCs. Tell me more about HOPR. So, what is it? Where do you stand? That we know. Just listed on Coinbase. But a bit more on maybe for those who do not.
So what are we doing? What was HOPR doing? So if you're sitting at home and if you're doing e-banking, you're paying bills, sending money to your parents or children or whatever, sending money to somebody else, or basically paying your daily bills. What you prefer is you prefer privacy. You don't do it in public, you don't do it in a restaurant where everybody could potentially see that you're sitting on your laptop and that you just bought in the supermarket wine for 500 Swiss francs, whatever it is. That would be me. So what we differentiate in when we do things we want to have private, like when you go at home, you close your door because you want to do, things at home which not everybody's doing, like taking a shower. The same is if you use MetaMask. If you do on the blockchain a crypto transaction, you try to do that in private, and you think that when you do that at home, that this is safe and secure and nobody's able to watch what you're doing in your banking account as well as in your crypto wallet. Fact is that thanks to the RPC providers, not blaming them, this is the Web2 infrastructure, that's the transport layer, how the internet is built, that the RPC providers know everything about you. They save everything about you. They sell the data because it's part of their business model. It's not that I'm saying this is good or bad. It's a fact. They're making millions and millions of money, and it's part of how the world currently is. So on the other hand, there's VPN providers who give people the opportunity to hide their IP address in the way that they give you another IP address. Now, the bad VPNs give you whatever random IP address from whatever country, and it stays for you for the next 30 days. Wow. And then the good VPN providers exchange it whatever every 30 or 60 minutes. Okay, it doesn't make it too much better. HOPR is offering a network where you're able to transmit data, like your e-banking payments, like your wallet transactions, totally private and secure, which means like the transaction itself is encrypted and your IP address is hidden. So it's like the difference between a VPN provider is I know your address because I know your house, I know where it is, and with HOPR you don't know where you're living. So it makes it massively harder for the attacker or the RPC provider or whomever to know like, okay, where should I attack? If I don't see the house, if I don't know where you're living, attacking is going to be difficult. And this is what we're doing with classic sharing economy. So we're using the network from T-Mobile, AT&T, Swisscom, or whatever it is, and we're sending the data through the existing network cable just in a new technology fashion, which doesn't exist so far.
How can you use HOPR?
Well,
can I use it as a private person?
Not yet. So that's where we're going. So we are at the stage where we're integrating into wallets, where we're integrating into another absolutely amazing startup, Sedimentum, from Lucerne. So they are having, it looks a little bit like a smoke detector. You put it on top of the ceiling and it's detecting whoever is in that room. So they know exactly it's 2 babies, 3 cats, 2 dogs, 1 fish, 3 elderly people and 1, young Ella. So you can put it up, especially in the home of elderly people. And if then grandma or granddad are standing up at night, they're going to the fridge because they're thirsty or hungry or whatever at night, and then they stand up and then whatever they fell, and then maybe they're unconscious or they're hurt and they can't push the alarm button or they can't go to the cell phone anymore. The detector sees exactly that there's somebody lying on the floor and you need an ambulance because most likely a bone is broken. So that sounds like an amazing thing. Sedimentum. You can get by the way now buy it online. So they're live, but this detector is sending all the data day and night from your home. So if you crack it, you know exactly if that woman is dead on the floor or if she's not at home or if she's on holidays. You can see a pattern. Oh, every Monday morning between 7 and 9 she's going to the grocery store at dramatically good in order to get her Picasso, whatever. And these data will be sent in the future through the HOPR network. So nobody knows where the sensor is. And if the sensor gives an alarm, the ambulance knows where to go, but you can't detect which sensor gave an alarm to
Okay.
which ambulance station,
All right.
and so on. So I think MedTech data are one of the things you really need to protect. And currently there's no technical solution how you're able to, by the way, save and store data safe in a cloud from patients, like for example in a hospital. So some do it in Dropbox, which technically is possible.
It works.
It works, exactly, it works. Maybe it's not so absolutely amazing to have that in US provider. But that will be the solution for the future. So, for example, with Swisscom together, we might offer a solution where with HOPR we do the up and download of the data of the patients when they're in the hospital, or the data needs to be stored somewhere. You don't want to, print it out. And then in the Swisscom cloud, all the data of the patients is securely and safely stored. But you need the storage plus you need the up and the download of the data. This is what we're offering currently to B2B providers, and later also to private users.
There's actually something we could buy at Parashift.
Yes.
So how's the business model around
That's
that?
the reason I'm here.
Yeah. I knew it.
The only reason I accepted I could have gone for coffee. That's just the better sales process. No, but exactly. I mean, you, for example, are uploading. I mean, what kind of data are you uploading?
Well, I think most people are watching cat videos on YouTube today. But no,
Cats are...
actually there's like the normal data. We're not having like customer data here. So that's I mean we have, but it's like really only for testing purpose, and that's been NDA'd or not NDA'd.
So it's Parashift is an on-premise solution.
No, Parashift is a cloud solution.
But
So all operational data is on the cloud, and it's like a closed environment there. So the only data we have here is like the commercial data, like contracts.
Yeah.
And then we actually have test data that customers sending over for POCs or something like that. But it's also like from a legal point of view, that's unarmed data. So they have this cleared it out that they can send it to us, and it's just like normal data usually. But still, yeah. I mean, we're a very security sensitive business here in general, yeah. And we don't take it like lighthearted, not at all. So actually, we should really talk.
I mean, the company who are using the software and up and download whatever invoice data or salary statements of the employees, they are up and downloading it from the cloud, and the employees up and downloading it. Salary statement gives you loads of information about how many kids.
Everybody's doing that.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, currently you send it via email. I mean, we do it too. There's no proper solution, to be very fair. But this could be one of the things. So, that up and down into the Parashift cloud could be. It's for us. It's an easy solution, an integration, and then you just use a different network. Like you switch today between Swisscom and T-Mobile.
And how's the business model around it? Before we step into the business model, what do I need as a client? So is this like a device I have?
There is two opportunities. You could install a light node, which is not ready yet. So every laptop can install a light node, and then you directly go from your laptop into the light node, and then the light node does all the traffic for you.
And light node is
it's like a hardware node, like the one we installed, but we can also install it just as a light node on your laptop, so it doesn't it doesn't have all the functions of a proper HOPR network node, but it's the gateway into the HOPR network.
All right.
So that could be installed as an easy application onto your device, and then that opens the gateway in order to transmit the data private and secure. For a B2B solution, we would install, or we would tell you to buy. We don't do it ourselves because it's decentralized, so we shouldn't have the data of our clients. So we could give them a hardware, like a NUC, a normal computer. With certain specifications, and then like for $1,000, and then you put it into the company, and that's your gateway for all the data which you're up and downloading. Okay. So it's
It's pretty straightforward.
It was so easy to build.
No, I mean, I'm not saying that the sort of
it's
application of use sounds like,
it's,
okay, we can do that. That's not like a big
but
project.
that's afterwards it sounds like, oh yeah, it's logic. But until you get to that point, it was like, oh, this is actually how we should do it. This is like, I mean, it's, as you know, as a tech expert,
I mean,
there's loads of thinking. If I look at your software, it's like, oh my god, it's so of course you should do it like this. So
exactly.
I mean, you're better than me, so we know it was a better and faster process. But it's it's not all very obvious.
Yeah. And how is the business model? The business model question. That's how do you guys make
the
money?
blockchain project is always very, very funny because if I now say that there's no Web 2 business model in the background, everybody's like, but how do you finance yourself? So we sell tokens just like other people are selling shares of their company, just that nothing really belongs to us. So what we are doing is exactly like the Ethereum network. So we're building up the network. Currently, do you know that 100 people are maintaining the Ethereum network?
No.
It's like huge, but it's 100 people on the payroll. All the rest is done by grants and other people supporting it for free. Right. So that's the beauty about open source project. So we build the software, and therefore we are able to sell part of the treasury. You need to pay people. Currently, we're 20 people in order to build it. But at the end of the day, there's an association in the background which belongs to everybody who holds token. And one fine day, when this company is really built up after 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, maybe 10, hopefully there's that's done with the treasury, and then the network is as decentralized that everybody who runs a node is making money, but then also deciding about, okay, now we need an upgrade here, an upgrade there, and then they will decide to pump money into, or to get a team to make it. That's exactly what happens on Ethereum now. Now I don't want to compare myself to Ethereum because that's like I'm a little bit crazy. That's fine, but the way proper Web3 projects are built is kind of the same. So there is no, when you send data from Parashift, or the client sends data to the Parashift cloud up and down, the client will pay the network, and the network does not include a margin to HOPR.
All right.
So all the node runners who are, giving this network to the people, massive decentralized so that nobody can destroy it also, they will make the money. And of course, if you need something, they'll also say, okay, now here's the money, do something, upgrade it, make it better. But that's the business model. So there's not me running away with 10% of all transactions.
Yeah, okay. So that's very much different from the typical startup value building.
Yes.
So how do you get to your yacht in the end? How do you get an exit?
I know people who will have a yacht, and then I'm going to come to your one. And you don't need to pay maintenance fee. The administration to get a yacht from A to B.
Okay. Get it. So like you know what I mean.
Seriously, I do have a small percentage out of the entire token allocation.
Okay.
So there's 25% in the treasury, 25% is for cover traffic, which will help the network grow, and then for team and advisors, there's 15% token allocation to all the employees. But every employee gets token.
All right. So you're paid in token? Or actually your team is paid in token? Or
no, that's the bonus on top.
All right.
So we have a medium competitive salary, but then there's a token allocation on top of every team member, depending how long that team member is part of it. It's like stock options. It's more or less the same. Just that the waiting period is equally long, but then at the end of the day, it's liquid. Yeah. So our token is liquid since more than a year. Now it's even on Coinbase. Yeah. So if there's a token unlock, actually team members could sell their token.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. And how did you get to be listed on Coinbase? I mean, I realize you get more and more relevant and this kind of things, but Because this is sort of a step, or is this just like for somebody who is not too much into Web3 like me, thinks this is quite a milestone?
It is a huge
Does it
milestone.
look better than it actually is?
How good does it look?
I mean, from somebody who's really not much into Web3, it looks awesome. It looks like, okay.
It is. It actually is.
Like
and
huge.
it's very professional cooperation. So there's 2 or 3 questions in one. So first of all, how do you get there? Yes. These centralized exchanges list loads of projects currently. I think if you look on CoinGecko, if you scroll down, there's currently, end June 2022, there's around 14,000 projects. Yes, I would say 90% are scam. 80% know that they're a scam. The other 10 maybe don't understand.
Did your champions still decide whether they want to be scam or not?
Yeah, but I mean, if you have money problems, if you need to pay your people, then you might do things which are not good. And you need loads of experience. I mean, I'm super happy that I'm there with Sebastian, who looks into the entire Web3 ecosystem since, more or less day one. It is complex, but then it's also there's many people who do not understand the entire ecosystem. And to be fair, the ecosystem is super new. So they started 2009, 2015, 16, 17, Ethereum was coming out. So it is super new. It's not that there's a book you should read, that there's not a guideline, or there's, everybody learned at school how, the penguins are getting kids. It is super new and it's super complex. And it's if you only read what the DeFi projects are doing, and I'm talking about the good ones, what they're interestingly doing, you can read every hour, every day, up to 1 to 2 hours what they're doing, what they're inventing. Amazing. So it's amazing. Yeah. So getting on Coinbase is a recognition of what it is. And yes, they're also listing smaller projects and different projects. The more projects they're listing, the more volume they have. That's absolutely logic. Although we're now starting with the Coinbase Earn campaign. And I think that's the nice thing. That's what usually only really projects get, which let's say they like a little bit more. And I think that's the door to the public, because everybody can open very easily an account on Coinbase. Yeah. It's a centralized exchange, but it's good in order to onboard the world. For all the Web3 community being on Uniswap, we have a 10-11 million Uniswap liquidity pool, which people believe in us and they invest in it. That's the money for the community. And that's so nice for the community. Is a Uniswap pool is already the holy grail. But they understand that you also want to go on Coinbase or FTX or Coinbase. So well, that takes a while. So we have one big step, and you don't want to do all the big exchanges at once. You need to tune into the marketing. So there's some news coming up in the next months, and then I think very good.
You guys are doing great, right? Is that perception correct?
That is absolutely heavily very well fine-tuned marketing. No, we have a great communications department, do great things and talk about it, but it also, you don't never bullshit the people.
Sure.
I mean, of course, everybody, makes it a little bit better than it is, but it should be realistic. So if people look retrospectively, they should say, okay, they always painted it a little bit nicer, but people should say, okay, they're trustworthy, it's true, and it's working. So we have a great comm department who's doing so many good things, because we're not only talking about HOPR, we're talking a lot about education, not what HOPR is, because it's complex. If you so what are you doing, or we're Swisscom or T-Mobile, it's like next time you fly to Mars, no LMS going there, so we're doing Pluto. It sounds totally stupid, and it's so you need to fine tune it and give people a use case which everybody understands, and that's, as you know, pitch your startup in 30 seconds so that everybody is not only but that sounds good, tell me more. I mean, that's what you want, and exactly. I mean, that's super easy, right?
Yeah, it's very easy.
After 1,000 times it gets easier.
Yeah, it gets easier. Making things simple is a lot harder than actually.
That's the point.
Anything else.
That's the point, really. And that's what I think startup guys, is in the very beginning, are constantly doing.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing. Can we, make it half?
Yeah, exactly.
Because you have no resources and money.
Yeah,
to be very honest.
Yeah.
You need to make.
Yeah, and you need to think. You need to, from the heart. You need to think is easy. Otherwise, you probably would not start it. I mean, so many times I started something thinking that looks really easy, and then just a couple of weeks later, you realize, oh, okay,
we can do that in 2 days.
But yeah, let's do it. Let's do it in 2 days. Let's do it on the weekend.
Is there a learning curve? Because for me it isn't. Is there a learning curve where you say you have a great idea, you want to do it, and then you pretty early notice it's maybe not 2 hours but 2 weeks, or is it still you're so motivated and you're so passionate about it that you, because I'm not getting better at it?
Well, I think I'm actually right now starting to learn how to scale startup building. So that's really what I want to do. Yeah. So do mass building. And what I realize is there's like you got carried away with enthusiasm about an idea and you love it. Yeah. You know, there's things, and I skipped for too many times. I skipped like questioning or asking people about, is this a good idea? How should the offering be? So just like, I have this crazy vision. This is how it needs to be. So, and a kind of Steve Jobs attitude, like where you think I have this vision and just like put that vision into reality, and then and this is expensive, yeah, and it could be fatal, yeah, in a way that you build something and you realize this is just it was just cool in your head, but nothing more. So what I really,
but the others are outside.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Why is the world not interfering with my perfect idea?
And there's like a lot of things I learned on the way. Like building a really new thing is in like 99% of all cases a very stupid idea. So the best that's very interesting and technologically very interesting, and if you can be one of the rare exceptions where you can change something with some new technology fundamentally, they're like the luckiest person on earth. But the truth is, it's probably a lot better to do something that has already been proven as a model out there, just improve it a bit, just be a bit better, a bit faster, a bit more into a different business model. But basically, startup building is, for me now, after I grew older, is actually do the same.
You look like 30.
Yeah, I know. do the same freaking shit again and again.
Yeah. But
just in a more fashionable and less expensive way for the client, and you can take like everything. Just as Yokoi, you know, the guys that I think they did a really great execution. They're actually very experienced people, as far as I know. And but when they started, I was thinking, and I just recently learned we had a very early exchange about document extraction when they just were starting off, and I was not part of that. And when I looked at this, I was thinking, how the hell? There's so many solutions out there, and that was before I actually learned that you can take something very conventional that's out there for a very long time, just need to do it X times better than what is the current market situation, and you can get traction really, really crazy. And I think there's like maybe that's the learning I take out of that is to be not to lose the enthusiasm you develop for an idea, but then to maybe take a break, ask different people, as in 100 people, PowerPoint test, and then if the narrative still is, or if the narrative you get from the outside world is still feeding your enthusiasm, then I think you're onto something. You can be heavily invested. Yeah, I mean it's your time. Yeah? It's your lifetime you're spending on those things. It's not only money. It's
And I think that's also the point. That makes it difficult to, because you're emotional about it, to look at it from a neutralish perspective. Mm-hmm. So it's not, oh yeah, that's a nice idea, let's do that. It's passion. There's motivation. That's the reason why you were able to push it through so hard for so long. True. And you're doing it since quite a while. So it eats up lots and lots of energy. I mean, you get loads of energy back. That's amazing. That's the reason why
at times you get it back, at other times you don't get it back
while sleeping. I mean, if you get sleep. So, no, but it's and then I think it's hard to sometimes take a step back, as you said, and then get wise people to criticize you on the right level. And it's not that they're always right with their criticism.
That's
and it's not that they're always wrong with their criticism.
That's very true.
It's just that then you need to filter out like, oh, there's a point, or yeah. So there's no right or wrong. Yeah. And that makes it complex.
The interesting thing about critics is that there's one pattern I have learned. When there's these diehard dinosaurs, industry experts telling you what you're doing is completely wrong, that's in almost all cases, that's a very good sign that you're on the right path.
Actually, really? Yeah, that's, I mean,
I heard I had and I'm not going to disclose. He's now a VC. No. I want to have him on the show.
And he's even a VC now.
He's a VC now, and I was looking at Parashift some years ago, and I remember he actually is quite some older than me, and he took me like, so, no, Ola, I would stop this. This will never scale. This will never scale. And I remember like it took like 20 hours of my brain cycles thinking about this industry veteran is telling me my ideas. I'm completely wrong. The concerns sort of vanished over time.
As we all see now.
And I'm just waiting for that moment where I can show him our numbers and say, well, now, do you still think it won't scale? I know it's odd, B2B, complex B2B product, enterprise product, scaling like hell, but yeah, it's possible. So, and I think if young entrepreneurs stop at these kind of feedbacks, they will never encounter, the journey and really to build it.
And honestly, I would be as hard to say if anybody tells you this will never happen. It's already a very it's really not a good feedback at all, because I've seen in my personal eyes, and again, I'm not but where I have a stupid idea, and then they're growing, and it's like, oh, there's actually a market, cool. But I would never say to any founder, oh, that's a stupid idea, this will never grow. Because I'm able to tell you, I would buy it, I wouldn't buy it. I see a case, I don't see a case. I'm 1 out of 9 billion people on planet Earth. So I can't tell you what people not even in, France would buy, or Italy, because maybe there's a market need, a demand, I don't know. I cannot, I never, circumstances, I don't know. I don't understand. A market is developing, whatever, snapshot. They're doing filters. So they're doing filters. Oh my God, that already exists. Boom, they're exploding. See, people love it. Yeah. I don't know what younger or older people mean. I think to any founder out there, if anybody tells you this will never, ignore it for that. Because if somebody says, I wouldn't buy it, but maybe there's somebody else, then okay, this is the wrong target group apparently. I have to look into another target group. Maybe there's not the buyer, or I thought about the wrong buyer. That's all fine. But there's so many, sorry to say, simple, I don't want to call it stupid ideas, but simple ideas out there who I wouldn't be able to judge if it's working or not. And I've seen loads of successful startups. I don't think that ever the feedback, this will never scale, son, is...
I think it was made with best intentions.
I know, but I think that this is such an absolute statement. It really kills everything new. And I think if any founder is asking for feedback on this is my idea, then maybe give him a motivating feedback. Like, hey, doesn't sound absolutely, billionaire to me. Maybe not yacht, maybe only a new motorcycle, whatever. But think about, different groups, different different naming. Try to motivate people. Because sometimes you start with super stupid ideas, but then after 7 U-turns, you're like, oh, and then you develop something amazing out of it. But don't take the motivation away of these people. So telling somebody this will never work is really,
it's stupid. I agree.
It's arrogant. It's not nice. Because if somebody tries to do something, Not talking about the founders. I want to be a founder. Why? Because I want to be a millionaire. That doesn't ever work. Neither Steve Jobs nor no billionaire ever said, I want to be a billionaire.
I think making money should not be at the core of... making money is a result of doing things clever.
But with every job you like, no matter which job you do, if you really love what you do, and if you're cleaning chairs, if you'll do it better than all the others, you'll make more money than all the others.
Absolutely.
And that's the same for startups. If you do it for money, I tell you, there's not enough money in no startup for what you suffer until you were on your yachts.
True. Yeah, so we wanted to do 30 minutes. I see on the clock we're close to the hour.
What did I do wrong?
Who would expect that? If the two of us meet like after 2 years. So now my brain has built this model. Like Rik is telling me, this is going places. The next thing is going to be places. Going places. And then I meet you, and it's just like boom. This idea. So my prediction would be, you now tell me what's the next big thing you're starting.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm happy at HOPR. I have a great relationship with Sebastian. I have a great team. I had an outstanding team at Sonect, and it's so different now. It's not
so
better or worse.
Still a lot of things to do there. Yeah.
Oh, we're just getting started.
Oh, very good.
I'm very excited. The next 2 to 3 years will be absolutely amazing. There is some great news coming up in autumn. And then we're also building up an ecosystem a little bit similar to you. So the idea is, I don't want to scale HOPR itself to more than 30, 40 employees, because I do believe a strong core is very important, but too big is not beneficial. Plus, the second thing is, we are a open source project, so we want to really motivate the ecosystem to build applications on top of us. Okay. Which makes the most sense, because I might have 3 stupid ideas and 3 good ideas. Most likely the world has tons of better ideas which you're able to implement faster, and this is then the next level where I'm going a little bit into your direction. So motivating people, finding great developers, engineers, good marketing guys, even trying to build maybe little projects out of it, matching them together with maybe biz dev guys, and really get the ball rolling on this one. I know it's been done a million times, and now we're trying to do the same in our way. But this is the next thing which is coming on the HOPR network. Right. And super happy to see, maybe in a slightly more relaxed way. That's what I always want. No, but to really see projects growing, that will be not just my baby, like the baby gets babies. That's like then I'm getting grandpa.
Awesome. Awesome. Very good. Yeah, Rik, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
For the vibrant discussion and all the insight. And
great.
We'll be following you guys.
Thank you very much.
We will be applauding from the sidelines. Really great.
No, you're invited to the terrorist party.
Thank you.
If you invite me to your yacht.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming over.